hello everyone, and welcome to the what is this? Sixth episode of the Little Anime Podcast. Today I have another guest, a returning guest.
Ooh, Denisha.
Okay, if anyone's heard by our most hated / annoying anime characters with a little bit of favorite anime characters, Denisha was my very first guest in that. And so, with work and everything, she's been pretty busy, but she has informed me that she was able to come in and do today's podcast. So, how you feeling about today? Denisha, how's everything been going with you since we last did a podcast together?
Pretty good. I finally got my car back from mechanic, so I'm doing perfectly fine now.
Oh, Jesus. You did tell me about that, but... So yes, this is episode 6. I've been doing episodes every week now, so it's kind of hard to keep track. But yes, this is episode 6 of the Little Anime Podcast, where we just talk about anything anime related, anime, TV series, manga, movies, games, anything anime related, we talk about. So before we get onto our topic, I just want to give out a little news section. There was actually quite a lot of news that came out in the last 2-3 days. First one is, have you ever heard of the show Konosuba? Tanisha?
Oh, Demon Slayer?
Sorry, what?
Is it a Demon Slayer?
No, it's but you've heard of what isekais are, right?
Oh, yeah, I remember goddess.
Yeah, but
Does she have?
Yes, but look it up for anyone listening to the show. I think there should be a movie of it. It's called One is for God on One World. It's supposed to be in the theaters on Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. It's actually cool. Nowadays, there are a lot of things getting theaters. I remember when that Dragon Ball Z movie went to the theaters, and the last 6 movie I went to theaters in certain cases. So I really the series. I mean, like, you could watch on your phone and not talking about it. Yeah, you can actually go to their apps. I think also, for anybody else wants to listen to the scriptures, or anyone wants to look it up yourself, the next piece of news is on.com has the best last decade, which is actually the last last 10 years. A little list of, something I'm doing, that's pretty good. It's like, I watch it. It's really good. When he made it, it's
That's actually a good list, though. Now,
and then it's like 2 or 3 years after Naruto. It's kind of Gundam was the influence animated series. I personally used to binge the heck out of them growing up, and I think I kind of just watched my way through all Gundam when the Gundam series comes on. I'm like, I mean, literally, I kid you not, from like in the early 2000s, early stuff when like Naruto was first coming out and all that. Then I kid you not, was literally like maybe 10 movies, back. I was like, holy crap! And I watched them all. So
they must be good.
No, they were good back in the day, and a lot of them have become kind of. It does debut that there's actually series TV series. Mobile Suit Gundam 40 years old, usher in a new era. So it is the series franchise is 40 years old. That's insane. That's how long Gundam has been going on. That's insane. But Gundam's a huge thing, and it influenced so many of the other animes that's out now. So I'm not like yeah, Gundam is 40 years old.
Gundam.
40 years old. Here's the one. This one's like piece of Naruto anime. That's nice. Yeah, looking at that, there's no partial so let's take a little break from me. Sometimes the sub going, and then it would stop, and the dubbed version would come out, and that would stop, and then the sub version would come out. So maybe they're doing the original Naruto and stopping at this point. Yeah, so you might be in Naruto, they're going to get a little break from Naruto. Like I said, Naruto, my opinion, was not very good. Naruto, not the spoilers for anyone that goes back and sees Naruto. Now, so go after Kid Naruto. That's the best time to get him. So Naruto versus Sasuke and Naruto and protecting, trying to protect Naruto. How they were.
Him being
yeah, he was Shiraya. He spoiled from putting eyes and he turns out his how he lived he sees how everyone and him and like a fox, you know, he's a struggle, not to yeah, that's happening. Yeah, yeah, but let me because it's all the first. No, it's gonna be a break after the it's a Marvel Bear like episode. It's not what's up, it's really good. But yeah. You can do Pokemon is coming out. And Pokemon Star explains how this is a very particular Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon. I love I used to watch Pokemon religiously. Like I would watch every single new episode that came out, even the ones, and I catch up on all seasons. And the movies, I watch all movies. But after that, which series is it that people don't like Black and White series? After watching it for that, and I'm like, yeah, I know what the hell they're doing with the series. The Pokemon Black and White, you go on every YouTube, Facebook, Twitter account, they talk about Pokemon. They're rating all the different series, you know, like, and they will say like that one, Black and White, the worst series ever. They're just so bad. Yeah. I mean, I watched a few episodes, I think that series really good, and then they put it back to that, so it's really good. And then it's pretty good. I watched some of it, how you like it. Like, more chill and calm compared to the Pokemon series. Another news, for anyone who is in the Anime Kingdom, the third season of the anime series is supposed to come out in April 2020. So I've actually heard a lot about this series, but I haven't been able to find it anywhere. I think I'm just not looking hard enough, but I'd have to create a series. It must be good if it's getting a third season here.
Oh, what is it about? It looks pretty good though. The animation of it looks pretty good.
Okay, it says I found the synopsis of the previous series. Shin and I don't know how to pronounce these names, are war orphans in the kingdom of Ku. They dream of proving themselves on the battlefield until the day Hugh is captured by a minister. The minister escapes to his village, but he is badly injured. Shin then meets a mysterious youth who bears an eerie resemblance to, I guess, his friend, a boy who will one day become emperor. Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's so anyone who's a fan of that series, coming out next year, look out for that. Okay, I got two more news. This one, it's a special anime party on Steam.
Is it a place or is it like a podcast type of thing as well? Like a video camera?
I think it's like actual. It says it's in Toronto. It's for 19 and up. There's a $10 coverage. I don't know what that means. And the doors open at 9:30, so it's like an actual place. So that's very, very interesting. So this is not the first one. This is the second annual doing. They had a anime before, and this is their second one. So anyone who's a fan of that, anyone who wants to go to that, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty cool. Crunchyroll doing their thing.
That's just fun. Yeah, just make it a little, I wonder if they're gonna be like authors.
And a fake team animation. Like maybe she was just in social media of fake case or something animation and she got like what the heck? And
money for sure. At least for 4 days. That's probably how much you did it to.
That's our last piece of news. So and so I like but they wait over a computer but I'm saying like that's what everyone wants to 39 volume of the license. Yeah, so the TV series is directed by Tetsuya Akamara. So the studio that makes the anime series is A1 Pictures. They're licensed by Netflix, the streaming rights. Animation has a home video right, so pretty interesting. And their English network is Animax Asia, which they have done a lot of anime, so that's pretty interesting. And so far there have been 24 episodes, and that's not counting the third season yet.
A fun fact: this new season isn't from Netflix.
Oh, it's from Netflix.
Yeah, this is from them.
Huh.
This is from a different company. That's why there's been a little bit more mixed reviews for it.
Yes, I'm seeing it right now. Okay, Animax Asia has done the first 2 seasons, and Perry Studio B is doing the third season. And there's 5 episodes out. So they have 5 episodes out, not 4.
I wonder. Well, I'm excited to watch, like fully.
Oh, I'm totally excited. Well, first let's talk about the first season. So the first season, you're introduced to kind of the myth or the rumors of the 7 deadly sins. Basically, there were the strongest knights in the kingdom, and they tried to on it, and apparently they do a coup d'etat, take over, and they were all the team disbanded, and they go spread across the kingdom. About 2 years later, you see a rusty, you see this little kid, you see this kid in a bar, and you see him with his pig. And they're talking about, you hear about the 7 deadly sins, but then, way, 10 years after dead, those persons get put up years after it's 10 years, and those people are still up. They're like, no, they're still alive.
They don't know what they are, though, but they're alive.
So then, boom, you see this rusty knight walking, everything, oh my god, 7 deadly sins, we need one. And, of course, the kid is there, and he's not scared at all. The knight falls, pops out a girl. You find out later on in the episode that she's actually the third princess of Leonis, Elizabeth. So she tells, the boy and the pocket, I love him, Hawk, and he'll talk a lot. She talks shit. She thinks that she's looking for the 7 deadly sins. She wants her help too, but she realized with the Holy Knights, that's what the Holy Knights, that they're trying to take over the kingdom. They locked up her family. She managed to escape, and the last of her death was for the 7 deadly sins. They can help you. So she goes and she's with them. The knights come to the park looking for her. They think she's one of the 7 deadly sins, not knowing she's actually one of the princesses. The kid and Hawk help her escape, and when they're getting attacked, reveal this kid is not a kid. He is actually the captain of 7 deadly sins and the most dangerous of 7 deadly sins, aka Meliodas, the sin of wrath.
He's one of my favorite.
So, just at the beginning, this is a review, so the first 2 seasons will be heavily spoiled. So anyone who has not seen the 2 seasons, if you don't have spoilers, do not watch this. This is our review and our opinion of the last 2 seasons of Deadly Sins. So how do you feel? So I was saying that. How do you feel when you found out that kid was not a kid, like a grown adult, a man, and he was actually the captain of 7 Deadly Sins? What was your reaction when you found that out?
I was hyped. I was so hyped.
I was
like, why does he like this? What's happening? Like, is he gonna help everyone? He's gonna be like, fuck off. Like, how's it gonna work out?
I was simply surprised. I was like everyone else. I was like, this damn kid, what the hell is he doing in this bar? Helping his parents. You're like, no, this dude's a full grown man. You're like, oh, okay. You find out he is actually the captain of the 7 Deadly Sins. It makes him the strongest. You're like, wait a minute, what? You telling me this dude who looks like he's 10-year-old is actually a full grown man and he's the captain of the most knight in the kingdom? Oh, that's this is gonna be fun. So, Meliodas, yes, I am Meliodas. I'm the captain of the 7 King. What are your other sins? So he gets to join a bit of talk, and with his mom who carries the bar on her back, which is hilarious.
My mom is just like the mom is like, I will
the mom's OP. I love the mom. I love her. You never know her name. You just call Pop Mom. Pop Mom is a shit. I love you.
So the movie too.
Oh God, we won't talk about that, but maybe we'll do our own. We'll do a separate one talking about the movie. But so the first sin they find is in the Forest of Dreams. That episode had me rolling because those imps try to live and they multiply, and Meliodas is just messing with them. Like he's like, hands up in the air, put your hand on your cheek, call my name, Meliodas, shut the fuck up. And I was like, you are such a perv.
And all you had to do was like, and he knew what he was going into in the first. When you watch it, you're like, oh, he knew what he was doing when he was walking in there.
Because before all that, dude is groping her in the back. She realized her underwear is missing. So then when he tells all the Elizabeths to jump in there, Elizabeth be like, I'm not doing that. No, I'm sorry, that's my draw. So he realizes that's her. And then when they find out the imps and they chase out there, he's like, oh, here you go. And then she's like, you stole my underwear back? Like, how the hell did you do that? And she only like a split second. Snatched the thing right off her. Like, what the? No, she was a perv. Like, oh my Jesus Christ.
He's a trooper. He's worse than Master Yoshi.
Oh Lord, yes he is. Like, so after seeing, the imps, they find far away. They think, oh my God, this little girl is going to attack her. But to find out, they walk up and it's huge. And I don't mean huge, I mean tall huge. We meet the giant Deanne, which is the serpent sin of envy. I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, she's envy.
Yes.
So what do you think of Diane, the giant, the serpent of envy?
When I first met her, I didn't like her.
What? She had me rolling when I first met her because she was asleep. She woke up and she thinks it's a holy night. So she's like, oh, there's some holy nights here. I'm gonna kill her, or I'm gonna beat him at least. And Amelia was just calling me. He's like, what's up, Deanne? And like, what, 10 years to be nice together? She's kind of sleepy, so she opens her eye, and first her eyes light up, and she's like, oh my God, Captain! And they're looking at Elizabeth looking like Captain. So they're like, holy crap! Telling this tall giant girl actually wants to 7 deadly sins, and she is crazy obsessed in love with Meliodas, and she does not hide it.
Not at all. So maybe I didn't like her because of how she went towards Elizabeth, but now I realized like, oh, she's a hardly in a crack. That's it.
Yeah, she liked Meliodas for a long while. So when she sees a girl, I mean, any girl would kind of be like that. Have someone you really liked, for years, and suddenly there's some random girl that he's, with. You're like, what the hell is this bitch? Okay.
This is your new girl, huh? Like, what's up?
When she finds out that he doesn't play all the way what the situation is. He's just like, yeah, we're traveling together and whatnot. She flings him to the ground. He bounces like 50 feet far away from them, makes a huge crater in the ground. And she's like, oh my God, I cannot believe man I love is with another woman. And as soon as she's about to explain, she's pounding him to the ground, saying, I don't hear any of your excuses. You're a cheating womanizer. How dare you? And after that, he explained what happened. It's like, okay. That was funny.
Like, I guess it's fine, you know.
And but all that, and he was just like, done. Like he had a little bit of dirt on him, but anybody else would have been dead. He just took that beating and was like, yeah. So that's what happened. These people don't know what you say. Like that just didn't have no effect at all, which it did. And that was hilarious to me.
It was squished like a pancake.
Basically.
Two
So
times it was like.
Also in that episode, we meet Kill Thunder, aka Little Kill. He is the son of the previous what was the title? Holy Grandmaster? Yes, yeah, we go. He's the son of the previous one, the one who died, the one that they claim that the 7 deadly sins killed. And apparently he grew up in the castle. He grew up near Elizabeth. He was like a brother to her, and apparently was an apprentice at extreme Meliodas. So he like, you killed my dad. You disappeared 10 years ago. I'm coming back for revenge. I love the way they have in the episode, and then Meliodas, after he thinks, oh my god, he got Meliodas, and Meliodas was like, oh no, I was just like doing confirmation about, the other sword. And then he's like, bye, and like, what? And he picks him up and chucks him like 500 yards to like the next city. That was hilarious. The only damage she did, he broke her arm, like tore it apart. That was it.
What did you think of when you first saw him?
I thought he was crazy drunk. I was just like, because when he first showed up, he knocked everyone, but like electricity brand or whatever, and of course poor Hawk kicked off like 50 feet, and he goes away, and I was finally able to now he was with that, he was really like Meliodas. I was like, holy shit, I'm like, this dude is strong, and after that, Meliodas just pops. Oh, we can say whatever we wanted. Oh, I was just making sure and Chuck this fool picks him up, chucks him 500 feet, 500 yards the next city. That was hilarious. But at that moment, I thought the kill was, oh yeah, he's gonna be trouble. He's gonna be definitely trouble.
I thought he was gonna be a good villain.
I thought that as well. I was like, oh yeah, you gonna be trouble later on. You gonna be made trouble. So after that, they go on to a city that's near a prison where you meet the next sin they pick up. Bond. What is it? The Fox Sin of Greed.
Yeah.
So you find out for the last 10 years because of everything that's going on in his life. He allowed himself to capture one. I was like, oh, okay. And for 10 years, they were torturing him. They were doing all bunch of stuff to him, and he was allowed to do that because he was looking for pain for payback for what he did. But after he found out, oh, Captain Everybody, okay, my time's over. Breaks out of prison, beat up all the guards, and it was like, yeah. So I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, you telling me this fool could have escaped whenever he wanted, and let himself 10 years get beaten up, tortured, and God knows what they did. And he just like, as soon as he's like, okay, I'm done. Prison, I'm coming.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he liked it. Like he liked all of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm saying, like he was there for the pain. But as soon as he's like, okay, I'm paying time over, time to go. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go. So what did you think of Bond, the Fox Grid, the Sin of Greed, when you first meet
him? I like him, Meliodas. I was like, yeah, these two.
Oh my god, their friendship is fucking hilarious. But in that time, some other things happen. We get another episode. You get a glimpse of Meliodas' power because when the night comes to steal his broken sword and take out Elizabeth, he had one of the doctors in the city, give Meliodas like strong poisons. And they think, oh, he's dead, he's not enough. But the night comes, he's like, oh, I'm taking the princess, I'm taking your sword. Meliodas brings his sword, and he gets up and is like, wait a minute, you should be dead, how much poison did you? He's like, even if I'm dead, I'll never let go of this sword. And that's something and the guy's like, what can you do? Look at him, his eyes are pitch black, there's a weird mark on his forehead, and you just see dark energy beaming from him. So what did you think when you first saw that the first time?
Honestly, I was like, dang, am I rooting for the bad guy right now? Was I rooting for the bad guy?
I didn't know it was the bad guy point, but I was like, oh, you got a dark secret. Okay. I'm very interested in what that means. Very interested. So after that, they get into fights. They beat up the knights at the prison, Basse prison, that's what it's called. And they go to rescue the doctor's daughter, because that's what they blackmailed him with to do that. And the like, oh, we'll kill your daughter if you don't do what we say. And so they went over her, and then Bond. They went to Bond. So after they rescue her, and then go for Bond, he walks up, and was like, what's up, Captain? Looking all mad and serious. And Meliodas looking at him all mad and serious. And Hawk is looking like, wait a minute.
I thought they were gonna die. I thought some way they're gonna fight to death.
Okay. And I think that's what Hawk was thinking. Like, wait a minute, what's going on here? I feel like, and Diane was like, I do Hawk. You might want to find Hawk's like, oh shit, just like, you're real. And they went up and like, Captain, Bond! And the most hyperactive high five patty cake I've ever seen. Hawk said, if patty cake are wrong, what they would do. It was so funny. And as soon as that, he's like, Bond's like, Captain, and he's both and knocks him like 5 walls.
And then Meliodas just shakes it off and be like, okay.
Yeah, and then Bond's like, okay, me next. And he jumps up, headbutts him, like 6 walls. And they just rushing it off, and Hawk is like, oh, okay, am I missing something? And they're like, please just roll with it. Just let them be. And they're just admiring each other's strength, like, okay, you didn't get any in here, you're just strong as ever. Hey, just have a little wrestling match right there. Mind you, the whole time doing this, they're bringing the entire prison down with them.
Yes. Remember when the one of the guards of the prison was like, we're putting the most indestructible field possible. There's no way they can escape.
They're doing an arm wrestling that brings down the whole building. That was hilarious. The arm wrestling building is collapsing around the strength. And the guards and all the outside are like, what the fuck are these people? They aren't even people. Like, how could they be this strong? And of course, it was really going inside. I think the blinds were loading down. They were arm wrestling the buildings around.
Yeah, they weren't even trying to get out. They were just trying to like
have fun. They're like, what the hell are they looking to with these damn people?
Mom.
So, they're in there. And then you find out, like, moment Bond has no shirt, no pants, his little raggedy pants. You see him in his usual, like, what is it, that reddish outfit?
Jacket?
Yeah, so they're like, wait a minute. Where did you get that? He swiped it off some dude because he liked it. That's the just swipes things he likes. So they're like, where did you get the money for that? They're like, oh, I just found it. You see him walking and some dude is wearing the outfit. He looks at him and the dude's like, did you steal that outfit off that man? I was like, okay. And then you see Diane's face, like, yes, exactly. Just wear that off somebody.
The boy was the first thief.
That he is. That's what he does. He just steals. He's quick on his fingers and takes pictures. So I have Diane and I have Bond have 3 of the Sims. They are both king. However, there's a rumor that king is dead. So they go to the city, this town that they think he might be at. And they take refuge there. They're trying to customers mind this entire town like dead there. He goes town basically. And Bond, being honest, walks around doing whatever. These 2 orphan kids, and decides to help them. Come to realize he gets stabbed in the chest by this big old lance. And you're like, all you see is spitting up gallons of blood. You're like, what? And you see this little kid on it calling him, knows Bond. He's calling him by his name, whatever. Bond is totally oblivious to who this guy is. And when Bond's about to get real serious, or have died, Meliodas hits him in the back with a mug, like, better Bond. And he's like, what are you doing? It's supposed to be working. And Diane's like, okay, what the hell's going on? What are you doing? They shoot up, Meliodas looks up, and they're like, King! And Bond clicks, and he's like, wait a minute, wait. He's like, how the hell did that tiny little squirt king? Because as you see in the posters, it is this big, bearded dude.
Smelly.
Yeah, and you see this, basically, you see this small, tiny, looks like he should be 10. So Bond is like, how is that king? That's no way that's king. But he recognizes him right away. And you would think after that, they would know if he died, or they would know about what's going on. No, he leaves. And you're like, okay, why can't he leave? Like, they kill Bond. Did he stop because the captain was there? No, he stopped because they hadn't realized it was him, and he could handle who had him. Because he had an enormous crush on Diane. So how did you think about King when you first saw him?
I thought honestly, I don't know how I felt about him when I first seen him, but I like how he felt about Diane. You can tell
it's feelings by Diane. I was like, oh my god, he's such a sweet cinnamon. Oh my god. Falling over the fact she recognized him, and he was like, oh my god, she's still as cute as ever. And then, of course, he points out, he's like,
blood.
Yes, he's like, hold on. And then he points out, wait a minute, I feel like I didn't change the last 10 years. He's exactly the same. And he's like, whatever, it was so good to see my friends again. And then as soon as he says, he turns dark and evil, and he's like, Bond, I'm not gonna let you get my friends. And then they go and they find out that Bond actually went to go there because there's a place that you can go where the world living and the world of the dead is very closely together in the Clockers. And Bond is going there because he wants to see his girlfriend, the woman that he loves, which was Elaine, which you'll find out later on was King's sister. However, King thinks Bond killed his sister in order to get the miracle of life or liquid of life, whatever that little thing was.
It was like
the goblin thing can keep you basically.
No, I think Mario has power. It's just the fact that he couldn't live forever.
No, because no one's pretty strong in his own right. But after taking that potion, he became immortal. So that's how he regenerated everything back. How he can't die no matter what happened to him. That's how that. Literally, to be ripped apart and come back. Like, okay. So let's think about a backstory and talks about how Bond and Elaine first met. How he was trying to steal the elixir in the what is it? The fairy?
The fairy forest? No, the king fairies.
Something like that. And he's trying to get the elixir push off the cliff over the country, and everything you would think he would die, but little things keep saving him. Like a mushroom, he just magically comes here, breaks his fall. Some of the branches breaks his fall. She, Elaine's like, wait a minute, why is the forest protecting him? Like she would feel like it's protecting him somehow, but she doesn't know why. And then at one point she's like, no, I had enough. You need to leave. If you take this, the forest will die. You never understand. You don't know how to read. And Bond's like, oh, okay, I'll stop. And she's like, you really want to leave like that? She's mine. And the reason why he stopped is because the berries from that forest make very good wine or alcohol that he loves. And he would be heartbroken if he could never drink it again.
Such a simple-minded person.
So she's like, wow, he really stopped it. He really meant it. They spent time together and they ended up falling in love. I thought that was the sweetest thing in the world.
I think it made me appreciate and love. Well, not even appreciate. It just made me love Bond more, and it made me like like respect Elaine, because it wasn't like we see each other, we must fall in love.
Like, they knew each other, they did together, and they actually would just fall in love with each other. But as soon as they reveal their feelings for each other, a giant regiment pops up and it's destroyed first. Oh my god, that thing was so disgusting.
That was fucked up.
So as soon as, Bond, he takes it out, not knowing, as Elaine's about to tell him, demons have more heart in that moment. They both get penetrated in the chest, and Bond is like, "Elixir, save your life." She's like, "No, you take it." He's like, "No, I don't care if I die. I don't die." But no, you take it. She takes it. Nope, she takes it to force him to save him, and ends up stopping himself in the process. So Bond gets up. That's when he gets his power. He's healed. He is pissed, and he tears that demon apart.
He done that so quick. He was like, "I just confessed my feelings, confessed my love, and you just take it away from me so quick."
Yeah, so in that moment, you go back to, modern time, and you realize he makes Bond guilty there, that Bond destroyed the force just to the Elixir, when really it was Edith's fault. So, the spirit of Elaine comes to Bond, and being like, "Don't kill him, I love him, just protect him in my entire kingdom." Of course, he kind of reluctantly, right, to do that, but he loves his sister so much, and he does. We actually have to little part. It turns out that there's a Apprentice Holy Knight after them, Gila.
Oh, yeah.
What did you think of Gila?
I thought it seemed like she was kind of acting for them.
Yeah, because when they're in the office, she's whooping all the ass. Like, he is handing them. And then, King shows up. He just decimates her. Like, she was whooping all three, Meliodas, Diane, and even Bond when he shows all of them. But as soon as King shows up, he is just wiping the with her and sends her out to Woodley. She finds the reason how she's able to get there was because she pierced her own heart, nearly killing her, so that her conscience could go to the goddess.
You know what? Even when I didn't like her at the beginning, you have to admire her determination for that, man. Like, would you ever do that for your job? I tell myself, just make sure I get the
you have to kill yourself just so you kill it. That's insane. I look back, Bond again, like, I promise I'll find a way to bring you back. When she thanks King, protecting the man she loves, and they go back to the real world. And then it's revealed King and Elizabeth are properly introduced. He realized she was a princess. Then when Meliodas reveals that she's the third princess, he's like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry for how I acted." Transforms how she originally looked at everybody. And the first thing Meliodas says is, "Oh, you changed your clothes." And Bond's like, "Would you look closer? That's not the problem here."
Yo, like, look at him, dude. Look at him.
He's like, he talks back, like, "Oh, sorry about how I treated you. I know you were princess." And of course, Elizabeth's just like, "Please, just be how you would normally be." Transform back to how we see him now. And he's like exhausted. "Oh my god, that form took so much out of me." And the first thing there, Meliodas says, "Oh, I got you back." And Bond's like, "Look closer, damn it, that's not the problem." Then you get the reveal of sacred treasures. That's what King used to be Gila. He used his pillow is a secret treasure. He can transform it to be stronger magical powers. And my most favorite scene of that season is he asks everyone what happened to the sacred treasures. And Meliodas says he sold his, gets these from the tavern. Bond says he got stolen from when he was put in prison. So his is locked up somewhere. And Diane misplaces somehow. She has no idea where it is. So, he turns to everyone and he's like, "So the sacred treasure, and like, you sold it? You lost yours." Then he turns to Diane and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey, that girl." And he's like, "It's not your fault. You never misplaced it." Poor King. You soft for Diane. You scored
so
everybody.
much so.
You made everybody else. But she turns to her. He did like a lip like really, and she's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, it's good. It's not your fault if misplaced it somehow. That happens. I'm like, King.
One as soon as Meliodas sold it. Like, come on.
I was like, I'm not surprised. Meliodas sold his. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And then it makes sense for Bond getting locked up when they threw him in prison. But it's like, you let yourself get locked up in prison. So basically, you basically locked up your own weapon. So they keep going on and they find out.
Why is that? Like, that's
because that's Bond is being Bond. Okay, Bond doesn't care about consequences later on. He cares about what's going on in the moment. That's why. So then they go to a town. They find out that Secret Treasure is a grand prize in some tournament. Go there. They with other holy knights, so they disguise themselves with their names, and they have a fight. And halfway through it, it's revealed that Elizabeth's sister, the second princess of Leonis, Veronica, is there looking for her with her a holy knight that I guess was her. And the tournament going on. How do you see a girl in competitions? Boom finds out it's Diane, but somehow she's normal size. So everyone's looking, wait a minute, what just happened? How are you normal size? Turns out, because of a incident that happened years ago, giants or from town. Diane has to stay behind. Elizabeth stays with her. They're hunting more ingredients for dinner. They run into mushroom, which I don't care how big you are. I'm not touching no giant mutant mushroom.
Oh hell no! That thing could have been like.
That thing could have been poisonous or something, which I kind of guess it was. Because when she hits it on top of his head, like I guess beat it down, it like sprays them with something. Shoots them both. So Diane's like a normal person, and Elizabeth's the size of a toy.
Not even.
Like the size of a little bear. Like a toy give like a 2-year-old me.
Like that. You so small. She's in her boobs.
Yeah.
That's insane.
You know, like how she get familiar with it. She don't like boys, like with my girl. He's like, no, like you're not coming work together. I can't do that to you. I just really feeling you're more from Meliodas. But I totally feel the real. Like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, did you even understand what I just said?
That's do you hear the word right now?
So I want to, keep going because I do want to talk about the second. It's pretty late. So after that, they do the tournament continues on. The last fight, it's Diane and Meliodas, but the fight gets interrupted halfway because they both sense danger coming. So then they reveal to themselves that they are the 7 deadly sins, and they will destroy this town if Edward does not leave in 10 seconds. So at first, nobody believes them. Like, get the hell off the stage. And this part scared me for a little bit. Camille was like, get the hell out of here. But the most evil stage that was, oh shit, is he about to kill everybody? No, these huge giant meteors come crashing down on the town. And then you realize that Meliodas just did that to get everybody to leave. Because 2 apprentice Holy Knights, Gila and, I totally forgot about the girl from the girl that Bond at the prison. What's her name? Jericho, there we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Jericho from Bosley Prison, which Bond totally humiliated, was there, shows up with another Holy Knight, and they are there to kill the sins and take Elizabeth and the broken sword. Everyone wants this damn broken sword. So then, Elizabeth runs into her sister, Veronica. She seals Meliodas in this dark prison given her by one of the Grandmaster Holy Knights that's there, Henderson. And when she's about to take Elizabeth home, the Gila and Jericho stopped him and was like, sorry, but we need that sword, that crystal, and we need the princess. So, she's like, that's gonna happen. You want the sword, that's fine. My stuff with me. Like, we'll for you if we have to.
No, she was like, wait, this wasn't a part of the deal. You said you'll help me find her. You ain't saying nothing about like trying to capture my sister.
Yeah, but of course, the other 2 grandmasters have their own plans a little bit. So, Elizabeth runs away because she doesn't trust her sister anymore because she sealed up Meliodas and won't listen to her. Comes out, Gila sets mini bombs in the facility, and Elizabeth actually steps on one, but her sister pushes her out the way, but she ends up getting exploded and dies in Elizabeth's arms. In that moment, Elizabeth's about to get captured again. The crystal that they sealed Meliodas in breaks apart. Meliodas comes back. He has those dark markings on him again, but he has like dark wings on him or something like that. So what did you think about Meliodas when you first saw him on that?
That was a good fast, huh?
I was like, everybody because he helps his old man, and with the Knights like trapped in like a big old crater. So Hawk's mom carries her clothes, drops it. What's that thing doing? You realize, she was bringing Diane her clothes. Diane takes her treasure and just going out.
No, this whole scene.
Tossed around back and the hell out of this area. And I go to
she's like Mother Earth.
Oh yeah.
All this.
So Meliodas wakes up, from his little demon. I'm not play it. Demon. He finds out his sword was still stolen, but he's gonna get it back, and he's gonna stop the Holy Knights. That's just the first half. The second half, you go into. So by then we have Meliodas, we have Diane, we have and we have King. So we have 4 of the sins already. In the second part of this first season, we meet a boy who is a giant in armor. And when the others, they're like, wait a minute. When people describe the armor, they're like, wait a minute, that sounds familiar. Like, holy shit, that's Gulther, one of the other 7 deadly sins. So Bond, King, and Meliodas runs out to save him. Turns out that whoever is in that suit is not Gulther. So when they set out to kill that whoever was in armor, they think it's Gulther. The others think it's Gulther. The others are just killing it just to get their mission done. So the boy who was taking care of it, one of the guys on the opposite team shoots this power archer arrow, and the kid with green hair just stops it. He's like, wait a minute, what the fuck? How'd the kid do that? His hair, like,
the person.
his hair jumps down, falls to his face. It turns kind of pinkish, purple, kind of, I don't know what kind of color that is, pinkish kind of, and he reveals himself to be Gother. I forgot what his title was.
The sin of lust. The sin of lust. There you go.
Oh, that's right. But what was his thing? Like, okay, you know how Melos is the dragon sin of Ra, Diane's the serpent sin of Envy.
I think he's like an ox or like something like that. Ox, thingy.
Shit, I cannot remember for the life of me.
It has horns. His shit has horns.
I think he's a. Is it the goat sin of lust?
Yep, there you go.
There we go. As soon as you said that, I was like, wait a minute. I was taking the picture and I was like, goat. The goat sin of lust. Gother. So how'd you think of Gother in these episodes when we first meet him?
That boy had no chill. Like, he didn't give a fuck. Like, he was the definition of, like, damn. Yeah. He didn't give a, like, even now, he doesn't give a fuck. Like, oh, you died? That sucks. Dang.
Okay, next. So, they fight the demon. It turns out that demon was actually made from a holy knight. And you find out that a holy knight was Gila's father that they, I guess, did experiments on, and they turned him into a demon. So that just intrigues them even more to what's going on in the capital, what these holy knights are really up to, and go through there. And good. And next week they will power. He's able to read one power, he's able to read mind and pass people. At the table we all were escaping who knocked me out. And it's gonna be the God. What's her title again? I don't remember yet.
The one that knocked him out?
The one who knocked Meliodas out. Like, what was her? No, she's the sin of.
Oh, shit. I think
the poor sin of gluttony. That's who knocks him out.
Yes.
I don't want to reveal them yet. But the boar sin of gluttony knocks him out. But he's like, wait a minute, why would she do that? So then, everyone's picking on King, they're reading his mind, whatever. And then it's revealed. So then a few episodes later, it turns out that Meliodas, they wanted the hilt of his sword, because that's only part of it. Then they need Elizabeth for something. So then a knight pops into the tavern where they're talking, kidnaps Elizabeth and Hawk, and takes them to the capital. So everyone's trying to get Elizabeth back, and in that moment, Elizabeth transferred back to the castle. Hawk escapes because he had to go use the bathroom. Oh, what happened? Oh, something. Hello?
Yo, sorry about that.
Okay. We tell a little moment she disconnected for a quick second, but yeah, I was just explaining how how Elizabeth was brought back to the castle and how she was able to escape her prison was because Hawk had to use the bathroom so bad that he knocked the hinges off the door so he can go poop.
Oh my gosh. Like, that's not a reason he can escape.
I don't know what is. Because that was hilarious.
I have to go, like, now.
So, yeah, that was hilarious. So, after that, the Sins are, fighting through the city, trying to find Elizabeth and find out what the heck is going on. Then you meet the King of Camelot, Arthur. What did you think of this Arthur? Because like I said, there's a lot of Arthur adaptations out there. So what do you think of the Seven Deadly Sins version of King Arthur?
I was very, very surprised when they even introduced a character. I was very surprised when you introduced him, like, period.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting, but I guess since their whole time period is knights and kingdoms, whatever.
It was so surprising. But
the fact that they put in like Camelot and King Arthur, it's pretty interesting.
They have a time frame now. You know, now
Yeah.
it's just like a old wooden story. Now it's like, oh shoot, this is when the time period of this happened.
Yeah.
I generally like him, and he seemed like a good guy too.
Yeah, because
And
he was fighting
he's
one of the
good.
grandmasters, and so everybody's just fighting. Elizabeth's trying to find her family. Then it reveals that. So then Bond goes out his own way because he had his own reasons for going to the capital. He meets this magical horn that can grant wishes you do one thing for it, and they say kill Meliodas. So it's like, oh, your girlfriend, you can kill Meliodas.
This part was so damn sketchy. Like,
So
it was so sketchy.
yeah. So before all that, you know, they're what's his name? Gil Thunder and Meliodas are having a fight, and it turns out halfway through the fight, you find out that Gil Thunder has actually been put under watch because he actually found out who really killed his dad, but to keep the secret and protect the woman that he loves, he was put under watch, and then they were watching him to make sure that he did what he was supposed to and not reveal the secret. If not, then the woman he loved would be in danger. And it's the same for her, which you find out is actually the first princess of Leonis. What's her name? Margaret? That's her name?
And Margaret, it starts with an M for sure.
Margaret, yeah. Margaret Leonis. That's the first princess of the kingdom, and who are very in love with Gildunder, and he's in love with her. So to protect
That
each
was a plot
other,
twist.
yeah. Hold on, wow. Okay, so she decides that she realized. Well, she didn't just realize, but she knows that the reason why Gildunder is doing what has been doing the last 10 years is because he doesn't want her to get hurt. But she knows that he can't fight to his full potential against people who really deserve it if she stays alive. She tries to sacrifice herself. Meliodas finds her halfway, frees them both from the curse that's put under them, and Gil Thunder goes ham on Hendrickson. He's like, you're the one who killed my dad. So
He's
you're
like, I'm
gonna
gonna kill
pay.
you right here, right now.
So, so he, defeats him. Then the mage who kidnapped Elizabeth comes out. You find out she has a huge thing for guilt on it. So she was jealous that, him and the princess were a thing. So she tried to, well, she did that because she was ordered to, but she also did it because she wanted to keep guilt under for herself. So she gets mad, tries to, look like send them to different dimensions. When the mage that came with King Arthur comes in and stops her, which you find out is actually one of my most favorite characters in the show. We meet Merlin, the Borson of Gluttony. What did you
The
think of?
baddest bitch ever.
Okay, I just want to say, what did you think of Merlin? And you just took the words right out of my mouth.
He was
Merlin is the
the
baddest
baddest.
bitch you will ever meet.
And she came from this show. Just remember that. She came from this motherfucking show. She's like
Yeah.
Arthur's assistant. That's it.
I mean, because Merlin is a pretty known fact for King Arthur. So the fact that they made this Merlin a girl and made her part of the seven deadly sins, I was like, oh yes, y'all is doing something right. So she is, it finds out that the mage was actually an apprentice of hers. So, she knows her tricks and whatnot,
He's
defeats
like,
her.
I taught you all this.
Yeah,
Like, come on now.
so she defeats her. They go to where the king and Elizabeth are. They can't get in because her apprentice put in a magical barrier so strong that even demons couldn't break through it. And Merlin just pops it away. And Merlin was like, "How did you do that?" Her magical power lets her. One of her abilities is she can cancel out other magical abilities. So she was able to just cut off her apprentice's power and was able to break through.
If that's not OP, I don't know what the fuck is.
Oh,
Like,
speaking of OP, when we talk about the second season, so they get in, they save Elizabeth. Merlin goes and takes the king to Camelot so she can heal him. what's the other knight's name? The other grandmaster. I forget his name.
Henderson and what's his name? Dad?
Yeah.
Damn. Yo, give me a second here. Let me see.
I'm trying to remember his name.
Holy.
Basically, he was the brother of the previous grandmaster, so that makes him Gil Thunder's uncle.
Zacharias? Drufus, wasn't it? Or no?
Dreyfus. That's his name, Dreyfus. So, Dreyfus comes up, he reveals that I didn't want to do all this. I was jealous of my brother, that he, was so powerful. Everyone wanted to be like him, even my own son admired him more than me. So, but he wants rights is wrong, and then boop, Henderson comes back. Turns out Gilton didn't kill him because he has demonic powers. So he just decimates Meliodas, decimates Gil Thunder, and it was about to kill them. But Elizabeth's like, okay, that's enough. Obviously, I'm the one you want. I'll come with you if you stop trying to kill everybody. Takes Elizabeth away. Meliodas is pissed. He's trying to go back. That's when Bond comes back into the story. And that's when it's revealed that Bond is going to do what that horn tells him and kill Meliodas. Because then you revealed that Meliodas is from the demon race, which the demon race has caused so much trouble, so much death and destruction the last hundreds of thousands of years, and they were sealed away. So everyone's looking like, wait a minute, you're from the demon race? Then what are you doing here protecting us, saving us, working with us?
Like, was it a lie?
What's your real goal? So in that moment, the only person who could talk him down was Hawk. Because Hawk is like, you're really going to listen to what some random object told you? It's like, what if that thing was lying to you? But he's like, what if it's true? What if all I have to do is do this and I'll get Elaine back? But he's like, yeah, you could do that, but what if it turns out to be a lie? So not only
and then you lost your best friend.
Then yeah, he's like, not only will you not be able to see the woman you love, you'll also lose your best friend in the world. Are you really, really gonna take that risk and see if what that thing told you is real? Talks him down, whatnot. They go to save Elizabeth, and it turns out that the reason why they want Elizabeth's blood, they wanted her so much because they wanted her blood. Because she is apparently a goddess, or has the blood of goddesses, and they need her blood to unseal the demon race. So Henderson and Dreyfus have a fight. Dreyfus gets disintegrated. Elizabeth is badly wounded, and Meliodas comes. He's pissed. He has Hawk take her away. They have this huge fight. It's revealed that Henderson was experimenting on people with the red blood from the demon that Bond killed. He captured it and was using its blood to how he was able to enhance the Holy Knight apprentices. And then it turns out in a cave there was actually a gray demon?
Yeah.
Turns out to be even more powerful than the red demon. So because he became so inept or was able to overcome the abilities of the red demon, he figures if I take this gray demon's power, I'll be even stronger. So he becomes so strong, he's beating everybody, killing everybody. He does his final blow to kill Meliodas. Elizabeth jumps in, and then Hawk jumps in to save them.
Oh my god.
The saddest scene ever was Hawk jumping in and getting killed by the blast. Everyone is crying. Everyone's pissed. They're like, how could you do that? Bond calls him Master, so he's like, how could you kill the Master? He was so good. You evil thing. Melrose is pissed. And in that moment, Elizabeth's goddess powers awaken. And everyone's confused because her eye, her right eye has been covered this whole time. In that moment, you see a weird symbol in her eye, and
you see the different color and all.
Yeah, and she just has this huge glow about her. And she's able to heal up all the people who are badly injured, like nothing happened. And even her powers even regenerate the ground. Like literally flowers are blooming, grass is growing again. Like she literally has the power of life. And but the thing is, she can't resurrect the dead. So anybody who was killed was not brought back to life. But in that moment, everyone fights one final battle. Meliodas disables his power, takes blows from everyone to charge up his ultimate power, and does it and kills Hendrickson. And in that moment, everyone's happy, whatever. But a lot of people died. Hawk is still dead. But then it turns out somehow Hawk's body disintegrates and he's tiny like a little toy. They're like,
so cute. Everyone was so happy.
So they were like, wait a minute. So, they're about crying and then they see his body disintegrate and you see a tiny little Hawk pop up and they're like, whoa, you still alive? He's like, yeah, I guess so, somehow. And everybody's happy. Merlin comes back with the king. She heals him by testing him out with demon things that she learned that she wanted to try out. So Meliodas was like, holy crap, this is the king as your guinea pig.
Honestly, like, who does that?
But she's like, hey, it worked out. So, all will ends well. Right, your highness? He's like, yeah, okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, just don't touch me again, ever.
He was like, can't say shit. I'm alive.
Yeah, but I'm not letting you do that again. So, everything wraps up, everyone's happy, and I guess we could stop with the first season. The second season, everyone goes on this journey again, and they go to Camelot because apparently there are some demons attacking Camelot. So they go to help King Arthur. Elizabeth goes with them because she wants to go with them, but Bon separates from the group because he has his own thing to do, and King goes with him. So at this moment, it's just Meliodas, Diane, Merlin, and Gother. So they go, Camelot, they destroy a demon. But before all that, we find out that Henderson and Dreyfus are not dead. It turns out that they were both being possessed by one of the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments were one of the most powerful demon troops of the last, 3,000 years? But they were sealed up, and somehow he was able to escape somehow, and he took over both their bodies. But at this point, he ends up taking over Dreyfus's body, and he uses the blood he collected from Elizabeth, the sword he took from Meliodas, and he unlocks the thing that had the demons locked up. And poop! The 10 Commandments of the demon race are resurrected. How did you think about the 10 Commandments when we met them?
I thought some of them, I'm not gonna lie, some of them I thought was like, eh. And then some of them were like, they're either like so-so or they're like, damn. This is about to go good,
Yeah, especially the two that look exactly like Meliodas. There's one that looks like a grown-up version of how Meliodas should look like. Tall, he looks like an adult, he looks like his age. And then
not his body.
And then you meet kind of the same stature as Meliodas. I guess same kind of build. I mean, Meliodas is still stacked, but still, he looks like a kid under his clothes. But with his clothes on, he looks like a kid. So the guy looks like a kid too. But this one, he has a black hair, while Meliodas has the blonde hair, and the tall one has shit.
White
grayish hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they're back. They want revenge on the 4 races that sealed them up, which are the fairy race, the giant race, the human race, and the goddess race. He wants revenge. They want revenge on those people for sealing them up. So they start wreaking havoc across the world. And one of the abilities of the 10 Commandments is she's able to revive the dead. So, before we get to that comes to play later, but Bon goes to the fairy forest, which King thought was destroyed all those years ago, but was actually revived because the last couple of years, Bon was going to, I guess, the base of the tree and was giving his blood to the tree, which was reviving the forest.
Little to anybody's knowledge besides people from the fairy people.
Besides the fairies, yeah. So, King gets there, he's surprised. Everyone is still alive, the forest is back to how it was, but everyone hates King. They despise King. And they don't see him as their king. They see Bon as their king. Except for one fairy. She knows that King is the rightful heir and rightful king to the fairy race.
That bitch is crazy though.
Yeah, so when you get to the base of the tree, you find Elaine's body, which was revealed in the last season that fairies' bodies, even when they die, don't decompose. They still look the same as of the day they died. They still look young and pure, like no wrinkles, nothing. They look as if they were brand born.
Brand new, as if nothing ever happened to them.
Like nothing happened, but they're dead. They're not moving. So in that moment, King is he's not confused, but he's upset because everyone hates him, which he understands because he left everyone.
But he doesn't understand why Bon was helping.
Yeah, he doesn't understand why Bon was helping them all these years, why he never said anything. And one part I do want to talk about is how he kept teasing him, saying, "Oh, why do you even follow me? You need to go back because you have someone waiting for you." And King's like, "You have Diane waiting for you back." Like, what do you, like, and King, first time he falls for it, he, being Bond messes with him. And he says it again. He's like, "Oh, you have someone waiting for you." And she says she can't live without you, or if you leave again, she doesn't know what she's going to do with herself. And so King's like, "I'm not going to fall for the same trick tries, dude. Shut the hell up." And he's like, "I'm not kidding." He's like, "Wait, what?" He's like, "No, I heard her say those words exactly." And you flash back to King, I guess, going out in town. Diane wants to go with him, and it's revealed that it was revealed in the first season that Diane and King knew each other when they were little and fell in love, but Diane somehow lost her memories and doesn't remember King at all. Well, their past, anyways. But somehow throughout the whole thing, she regained her memories again. So she now knows her feelings for King. She's in love with King. She's always been in love with King, but now she realizes it and knows it. So King is confused. He's like, "Wait a minute. She remembers the time we spent together. She remembers me." But he's like, "Yeah, so you need to go back to her. She's waiting for you." But he's like, "No, I can't leave. I want to go back and be with her, but my people need me." And in that moment, a demon comes and attacks the forest. The poor fairy forest. It can't get a break. It really can't.
Fairy Forest and King. I feel so bad for damn King. King and
So,
Bon.
while King is fighting the demon, the one fairy who doesn't see Bon as their king is like, "You are not the rightful king. King is." And she calls him Holoquid, but that's his real name. King is just the name he gave himself so that people wouldn't realize who his real identity was. But she calls him by his fairy name, Harlequin. So she's like, no, Harlequin's the real king. You are just nectar for the forest. So she says, no, you're going to stay here and you're going to use your blood to revive the forest. And that's your only purpose. King is the real king of the fairies. So, she attacks attacks Bond, trying to, force him to do what she wants. When she can't do that, because, King is strong. Not King. I keep saying King. Bond is strong. So she attacks Elaine's body because she knows Bond's gonna go over and protect her. But in that moment, King is fighting the demon. Everything's getting destroyed. Other fairies are trying to jump in and, protect the forest. They're getting beaten up. And in that moment, King does not want to lose his home again. So he unlocks the true potential of his sacred treasure, which that thing looked badass. How did you think when you saw that for the first time?
I was like, damn. And then when they had like a I think it's like further on.
Yeah, he shows different versions of it. But
yeah, I'm talking about the scene when like the one of Seven Deadly Sins, another Seven Deadly, the one of the Ten Commandments was like, oh damn, this was one of those power surges that we felt. I was like, damn, he did that.
Yep. So he uses that, takes out the demon, but uses a lot of his strength, ends up passing out. But when he wakes up, everyone in the fairy kingdom, I guess, kind of forgives him, and they see him as their ruler again, as their king.
I'm sorry, they were fake.
They were. I mean, he saved them. They I guess realized, oh my God, yeah, he did abandon us, but he still cared about us, even when we were treating him like crap. He risked his life to save us. Like, he had every right to just abandon us if he wanted to, but he stood and protected us. So in that moment, everyone sees King as their, the true king, and then they go out and go to reunite with the others.
And the story was told.
So then we come back to Meliodas and the others. They are fighting one of the commandments. I forget what his name was too. The red guy.
I honestly wasn't even that important. Like that. It was like the red shiny one with the big mouth.
Yeah, to say his name is Galen. I guess that's his name. That's his name, Galen. So they're fighting him because Meliodas realizes they're like, wait a minute. They're like, if you're here, they're like, holy crap. The 10 Commandments have been released. So, they're fighting him, and they are, even though it's been, 3,000 years since the demon race was locked up, they're still as powerful as ever. So he is just killing and decimating everybody. Like, he pierces Meliodas, he knocks Diane back. She hits herself with her hammer. And then his commandment. That's another thing. All these commandments have their own special abilities depending on what commandment they are. So he is Galen the truth. So
yes. You have to tell truth every time you're around him, and everyone has to abide by it, even themselves.
Yeah. So if we tell a lie, you get turned to stone. And that's what happens to Merlin. She gets turned to stone, but halfway through he stops and ends up just, going back to the other. Like, he was just having fun with them, basically just testing his abilities, which everyone realizes that, and they're like, holy shit, if he was just testing us, if he would get serious, we would have all been dead.
Like, it's not even something like, oh, yeah, we'll be fine. Like, no, we would have died.
Yeah. So now everyone's trying to raise up their power levels, trying to get strong, and it's revealed that Meliodas has actually been having a huge handicap because Merlin sealed up half of his abilities. Like, not even half. I think 80% of his abilities were locked up by her. So he's only been using like 20% of his full abilities.
Because remember, it was like we went from like 30,000 to like 2,000 or something like that.
Oh no, like his power level went through like a major jump after that. But so they go and train to get their powers, and they pass the test, and Meliodas is like, okay, can I get my full power back now? And when they reveal like the space of how much his full magical ability, or that percentage he took was, like, wait a minute, that's what he's been fighting with? If that's how much they've been holding back, that he's only been having like that much of it, they're like, holy shit. So, Meliodas gets his power back, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna go say hi real quick, and just has Merlin teleport him to where the 10 Commandments are hanging out.
And then Merlin, before he was like, remember, once I leave you there, you have like 10 seconds or 30 seconds until I can bring you back. You have to stay alive
until then. So he's like, yeah, I'm just gonna say hi, no big deal. Goes there, and Galen, the one here he fought earlier, can't even touch Meliodas now. And all the commandments are revealed, and they're like, wait a minute, he's as powerful as he was 3,000 years ago. So you're like, wait a minute, this is how strong Meliodas was 3,000 years ago? Like, holy crap.
They're like, baby?
You're like, holy shit. So, he didn't really kill him, but he basically like shows his stuff to the commandments. And he's like, yeah, so if you guys think you're gonna just do whatever you want, the 7 commandments, we're gonna stop you guys, because that's our job. And Xertrix, the black Meliodas, basically, that's why I call him the black hair Meliodas, Xertrix, that's his name. He's like, we have nothing to talk about, you're a traitor. We're gonna get revenge against you and everyone who wronged us. And this is the part that really flipped me out. He's like, oh, how can you say such a thing, Xertrix? We are brothers. I said, wait. Excuse me?
Y'all related? Excuse me,
I was like, excuse me? You're what now? You're who? Brothers? I was like, that better be, oh, hey, bro, what's up? That better be, that's what that means. Not like blood related, y'all are brothers, like, you have the same parents type of brother. But he's like
how deep? Like,
so he was like, oh, whatever, we're just gonna do what we do. We're gonna come and stop you. He's like, and Emilio was like, oh, I guess I forgot what he said after that. He was like, you think you could threaten us? And he's like, oh, it's not
it's a promise.
He's like, oh, it's not a threat or a warning. It's like, oh no, it's a promise. We will destroy you guys. He gets so pissed that he jumps out, and Melvin's like, snaps away. His 10 seconds are up, and he goes back. Timed it perfectly. Milos is such a prick in that regard. He timed that perfectly. He pissed him off just so he could come back, and he just zips out the way. And as soon as he like swipes his sword, he's gone.
Honestly, he was like, well, let me just see how much I can piss him off. And this is my time.
It's like, okay, I got 5 seconds. I can piss him off in 5 seconds. And then
only take 2.
It'd be like, oh, yeah, it'll take like 3 seconds, piss him off. Okay, my 2, what? Bye! And disappears. I was like, Meliodas, you son of a bitch. So then it's revealed. So then, we go back to Bond and King, and it turns out that, well, first King goes back to the group, and that's when they find out that, once again, Diane, because of the blow to the head she got from Galen, she lost her memories again. So she doesn't remember anything. Not even Meliodas, Elizabeth, none of them. And yeah, of course, that makes King upset because they finally was able to reunite, and she lost her memories again. So Bond's by himself, and it's revealed that this goes back to one of the other commandments, Melascola? I don't know how to pronounce her name. Basically, she's the one that controls the souls. She used it to revive anyone who had any grudges or anything that they regretted that they didn't get to do in the one living, revives them back. And one of the people she revives is Elaine. So, her and Bond meet up. They share this passionate kiss, but then Elaine goes full on Yuko Gazai and just attacks Bond in a fury because she's like, "How dare you be with another woman when you're supposed to be having your adventures with me?" He's there with Jericho. Jericho came with him, and she talks her down and was like, "Listen, the only reason why he's here, only reason why he's doing all of this is because of you. You're the only woman that matters to him. Everyone else are like is second. You're the number one priority in his life, and he will do anything for you." And in that moment, the other two commandments, Mela and Galen, come and they are attacking Bond because they realize, "Oh, you're one of the seven deadly sins. You work for Meliodas? Okay, we're gonna kill you now." They put up a huge fight. Both of them are badly injured. So Gila's able to carry both Bond and Elaine into a cave where you see a tavern. You're like, okay, why am I getting flashbacks from meeting Meliodas again? You see this weak looking
What happened?
Oh no, it sounds like you cut off again.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna continue. So so they get into the cave and they meet. They go to the tavern. They meet this skinny-looking, weak-looking guy with glasses, and they're like, hey, can we hide out in your place? Cause we've got demons coming after us." He's like, "Oh yeah." Has this gigantic safe in the back, hides them in it, locks them in there. The demons come out. But they aren't threatened by him, and he kind of appeals them by giving them some of his alcohol, which they end up.
So you lose. That's it.
It's like, "Oh, have some of this. What's that beer that they would be drinking in the show? Something ale."
Is that the one from like Town? I think.
Yeah, like one of the best booze in the freaking series. That's all everybody drinks. So now he gives that to them, and he's like, "Oh," appeals to them. He thinks, "Oh, okay, they'll just drink and then they'll leave." They're like, "Yeah, no, we know you're hiding the people. They're in the back, right?" And he's like, "Oh, we'll play a little game. We'll hit each other, and whoever runs away, loses." And he even uses his commandment powers to be like, "Oh, if you break the promise, then you're turned to stone or whatever." And he first hits the guy and knocks him out, clear. Then to like the next morning, and so they're just sitting in there drinking all his booze while he's knocked unconscious. And then all of a sudden it gets hot, and they're like, "Wait a minute." Bond wakes up and is like, "Wait a minute, is it morning?" Like, "Oh shit, shit's better get real." Like, "Wait a minute, what?" Because Gila's like, "What are you talking about?" So then
they're like, "Oh, there's something about to happen right now."
Yeah, Bond was like, "It's the morning." He's like, "Oh shit." Like, "Wait, what?" So then Galen sees a giant axe looking. I don't know what the hell that weapon is. It looks like an axe. One-handed axe. And he's like, "Oh, this thing's pretty neat." So he tries to pick it up. And he's like, "Wait a minute. How can anybody use this thing? It's ridiculously heavy." So then the guy he knocks out.
Hold it with two hands.
Yeah, it's like you could only use it with two hands. How is this one-handed? So the guy he knocked out wakes up, grabs it from him with one hand, holds it with one hand, and is transforming. And we are introduced to the final sin, Escanor. The lion sin of pride.
Damn right. Damn right.
Lion sin of pride. So what did you think of Escanor?
I thought he was gonna be the best one of this whole series.
Because honestly,
just the introduction.
Yeah, from what everyone was saying from the previous season, they were like, "Yeah, Meliodas is strong, but out of all the sins, he is the strongest." So I was like, "Wait, what?" And in that episode, you find out just how strong Escanor really is, because they resume the game. So, Escanor's like, oh, okay, it's my turn, right? Cuts Galen in half in a split second using the one-handed sword. And you're like, not sword, the one-handed axe. She's like, wait a minute. You're like, holy shit. So, the other demon that he's with is like, wait a minute. Because she's shocked. She shook. She's like, wait, what?
No, wait. Before they, like, start, Escanor was about to swing, and then Galen was like, wait. Is he really becoming this strong? And he ran away.
No. That was the second round. The first round, he returned the favor and hit him. But because, the demon power, he regenerated right back. So then, he's like, okay, time for round 2. Galen attacks, like, almost with, like, basically full power. He was like, oh, I was saving this for Meliodas, but I'll use it on you instead. Attacks Escanor, blows the roof and the mountain off the whole place. And all he did was barely leave a tiny little scratch on Escanor and drew a little bit of blood. All that power and gave him a very tiny little scratch. Oh no, he is so fucking dead. I was like, that demon is so dead.
I was like, yo, this is it for him. He had a nice run, but like
I was like, he is so dead. He is so dead. So then, that's when he realized, like, oh shit. And Escanor was like, oh, it's my turn now, right? That's when he powered up. You really see the sun glowing behind him. And Galen was like, fuck this. And he left, but because he broke the promise, he got turned to stone.
And that was a murder she wrote with him.
Jesus. So then the other demon that he's with, she's like, oh, thanks for doing that, but for someone who's such a human, you're way too prideful, so you need to die. Well, they're gonna kill him anyways, but yeah. So one of her abilities, she's able to take souls of people and eat it. I guess it's something demons do, they just eat souls.
Apparently, yeah.
So, she takes his soul, tries to eat it, she does eat it, but because his soul is aka so prideful and powerful, that it literally is burning a hole through her stomach. You see her mouth burning, turning black. Her stomach is burning, turning black. And, like, because he reveals his power as sunshine. Basically, his power is, like, as strong as the sun. So basically, she just swallowed the sun. And his aka soul burns her to the ground. And boom! 2 of the 10 commandments are dead. In one episode. Because of one character. Just do
it. You're like, damn. You're like...
Yeah, because then, Jericho was like, holy shit, he just took on them 2 monsters in a split second.
Mom's like, what? Like, this is new.
Like, this fool is insane. So then we jump back. The other commandments hold this tournament.
I think I have to go.
Work?
No, not work. I was going to do something later, and now I was like, that was time for me to get ready.
Okay. I have to finish it up.
All right.
Bye. Bye. Have a great podcast. Bye, viewers.
All right.
Damn, it's so hard to, like, I can leave by accident, but now I can't find out how to leave on purpose. This is crazy. Bye.
Bye. Alright, so I just finished last of it. So after that, the 10 Commandments hold a tournament, kinda, but a big trap. They were just doing that to bring up the sins. They have the tournament, everyone's fighting. Then Meliodas attacks the excuse me. He had his own plan to take out the commandments, but then he turned out to reveal that two of the commandments who are holding that tournament turns out to be one of them is the previous Fairy King, and the other one is kind of like the King of Giants, which I was like, whoa, that's insane. So then Meliodas works with everyone, take them out, kind of, and then he has one sent away so he can fight them. Then they have this huge fight with the other commandments. You think Meliodas is basically getting his butt kicked, but it turns out he was doing all that to charge his final attack that he used in the last episode. But the bigger version of Meliodas sees what he's doing, stops him. But by doing that, Meliodas exhausts himself. He passes out. There, he steps on him, and that's when they revealed that Meliodas is indeed part of the Demon. But not only that, he was the captain of the Ten Commandments, and he was previously going to be the next Demon King. So you're like, what? Like, oh my god. You had no idea Meliodas was that powerful. Like, what? You knew he was a demon, but you didn't think he was a previous captain of the Ten Commandments and was going to be the next Demon King. So they have this huge fight. Bond goes to try to save him, ends up getting decimated, and then they attack Meliodas and end up killing him. Like, yeah, they kill Meliodas, and everyone's sitting there watching it. But they know that they can't do anything because there's no way they can stand a chance against all the commandments at their current state. And so after that, Bond goes back. Well, Bond is revived after that, but Elizabeth goes to try to see if she could help, but by then he's already dead. And now the commandments are running amok, and Elizabeth's just hiding out Meliodas' body until he wakes up, but they know that they can't. He pierced all his demon hearts, and there's nothing they could do. But in that moment, it's revealed that one of the other souls that was revived, was the previous Grand Master, which was Gilthunder's dad. He is revived, and he kind of reveals a little bit about Elizabeth and Meliodas' past when she was a kid. Apparently, Elizabeth was Meliodas found her when he worked on one of the previous, I guess he was a knight guarding a town, and some of the town got destroyed because of Meliodas' power. And then Elizabeth's there. He brings her to the kingdom, and then the king has a prophecy that he's going to adopt her, or he does. So the king Meliodas is like, oh, okay, you can take her, but you have to make me a knight, and I'll guard her. So, but kind of asks, but then doesn't ask, and then he's like, oh, if you don't, I'm gonna kill you all. Then that's how Meliodas and Elizabeth kind of grow up together, but she doesn't remember it, but seeing it kind of revives that he will be back somehow. And then it's revealed that Meliodas is not only is he a demon, was he the captain of the Ten Commandments, was going to be previous Demon King, he's actually one of the sons of the great Demon King. So you're like, oh my god, when you find that out, you realize, oh, that's why he and the other two look similar. We called the other one brother, how he was a captain of the Ten Commandments, how he was going to be the priest Demon King, because he's the eldest son of the Demon Lord. They're like, oh my god. And apparently there's a curse on him that the Demon King put on him. And it's like, every time he dies, he's revived back. Every time he revives back, he reverts to how he was when he worked under the Demon King, under the Demon race. And so, it takes a little bit. The demons find out where Meliodas is. They find Elizabeth, and one doesn't like Elizabeth because she reminds them of someone. It doesn't reveal who that someone is, but she reminds them of someone to like, wait a minute, how are you still alive after all these years? And they try to attack her, and then boop, Meliodas is back. But his personality is warped a little bit because he is reverting a little bit back to how he was when he was under the demon race, and he takes out 2 commandments like nothing. Goes to the capital. A lot of the holy knights are getting killed, and then Merlin comes back. She was able to reverse the stone ability that was on her, and she comes back, and she reveals that she's actually the daughter of Baliaoui, which you still don't even know what that is unless that's a real season, which I doubt it, but basically all when she said that to the demons, they freaked out like, wait a minute, what? And they're like, no, we believe that this series should kill us, and she seals up another commandment and was like, oh, you'll be perfect specimen of my experiments. And yo, that was so he declared them all with your name, and that was just amazing. After that, Meliodas, no, Anderson is fighting Dreyfus, and that's when the previous Grandmaster shows up after. You know, they're like, oh my god, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead. We killed you. He's like, yes, but I'm right back, and I'm here to help. I can't leave my brother in the hands of these demons. And, you know, they fight, and they were able to extract the demon that's been controlling Dreyfus all this time. But by doing that, also he was able to, I guess, fulfill his last dying wish. So he was able to save his Zarathos. That's the name, Zarathos. He was able to, by him saving his brother and former friend, he was able to peacefully cross over to the next world, to the afterlife, without any regrets, so that the spell had no more effect on him. And then you meet the demon that's been controlling Dreyfus all this time. Faradrin? Faldrin? Yeah, Faldrin. He's been the one that's been controlling, you know, Dreyfus and Hendrickson, how he wasn't he's the Ten Commandments, but it's revealed kind of soon after that he's not an official member of the Ten Commandments because the Demon Lord didn't give him a Ten Commandment ability like the others. He was just recruit to make up for one of the two members of the Ten Commandments that died early on. It turns out that when Meliodas rebelled against the demon race, he killed two of the commandments before leaving. So he was basically a replacement. So, but in that moment, Meliodas shows up, but he's not the Meliodas that we've known so far. He's darker, he's crueler, he's meaner, and he just had no mercy for Faldrin and just kicks his butt and all that. And at the very, very end, he, after spending so much time with Dreyfus' son and seeing how he is, has a change of heart, and he realizes that, yeah, Meliodas betrayed everyone and his race, but he did it for the woman that he loves, and that's something a lot of people, I guess, in the demon race don't understand. So they're like, how could you betray us or something like that? And in that moment, he understood. And he was like, oh, kill me. But and normal Meliodas wouldn't have done what he did, but this is not normal Meliodas we're talking about. So he goes and he kills him. Punch, energy punch to the go, whatever it was, and just demolishes him. And at first, everybody was like, yo, that was cool, so he's giving up, you're not gonna do that. And that's when it's revealed that he has a curse on him, that every time he dies, he's resurrected, but he's resurrected back to how he was when he was got the Ten Commandments and he was ruthless and evil. And he realizes what's going on, he's reverting back to how he was, but he doesn't want to do that. Elizabeth tells him it's alright, there's people who can protect you, and after that, everyone comes up again. But Diane and Anne can't go off on their own. And then, so at that moment, it's Bon, it's Merlin, it's Gother, and Espenor. They're all together. No, actually, it's real that Gother might have been working with Ten Commandments, so he's captured. But they do release him at the end because of how it's moving. So this might be a member of the Ten Commandments. I think so. But hey, you never know. That you're real next season. So right now, it's Bon, Merlin, Espenor, and Meliodas. Gother is on his way after being released from prison, and Diane and King are in the Fairy Kingdom doing everything. But hopefully they will try to reunite because the kingdom was kind of destroyed, but basically a lot of them died in that last battle. The kingdom is in ruin, and that's why when Espenor goes against Meliodas, I guess his first youngest brother, the one that's the taller version with gray hair that looks like a version of Meliodas, of how you think Meliodas should have been looking the last couple of years. So they have a huge fight on the YouTube it, like, oh my god, that's incredible. But then so once the was revealed, everyone kind of is big itself, they want to come up injuries and come up with a new plan because they're now targeting Camelot, so that's Arthur is later, is destroyed. But then I guess at the end of the commandments is dead. So there's let me see. Meliodas and Blazer still alive. They go with the souls who are dead. You thought she died, but she's alive because it's really Elaine is still there, and if she's still there alive and kicking, that means the lady who controls the souls, she's still alive. Who else? I can't remember, but I know there's a few commandments left. They did take out a good chunk of the commandments because Escanor took out one, took out another one. We thought she was dead, but she's not. And then we thought Bond took her out, but she was sidetracked from that too. All right, the previous Fairy King and the King of the Giants, the two are still alive. So, because like I said, Escanor, he took out one. He took out Galen. Meliodas took out two, and Merlin captured one. Oh no, Meliodas took out three. So he took out the two that were working together, and they took out Frydrin, whatever his name is, I can't pronounce. And then Merlin captured one, so she took out 5. So in total, last season 5 commandments were taken out, and there's still 5 left, which is Meliodas' brothers, previous Fairy King, the King of the Giants, and the lady who can control the souls. So there's 5 commandments still there. So, and that's basically the end of the second season. It's basically them trying to figure out what they need to do next, boosting up everyone's power level, take out the other commandments, and going from there, and basically revealing more about Meliodas and Elizabeth's past and how they're connected. So, that's it for our main topic today. That is what I wanted to talk to everyone about. So, like I said, I'm very, very looking forward to the next season. There's only been 5 episodes out in the subtitle version, but there hasn't been any English yet. Netflix hasn't gone on to that. So as soon as they do, I am so there. That's another thing. I do want to do a last minute thing that I want to do in all my podcasts now. I want to recommend a manga for everyone, basically. Give everyone something to read, because we don't really talk about any manga yet. But hey, this is what this podcast does. We talk about anything anime related. So the manga I'm going to talk about, which I guess I'll just keep it in track with this. Go read the 7 Deadly Sins manga. If you don't want to wait for the TV show and see what happens, just read the manga. Because like I said, there's 39 volumes of the manga. So I'm pretty sure it's reached far enough past the second season to where you can pick it up and then see what happens afterwards if you don't want to, wait. But the manga is pretty good. Everyone still likes it. And I mean, they're making an anime off it. And the 3rd season, it's pretty good and it's pretty popular. So, yeah, that's my little manga minute. Just if you don't read the 7 Deadly Sins if you don't want to wait until the anime comes out. Just read the manga, and that's about it. That's what I'll end up for this. I was planning on doing the next episode on the 15th. That will be our Thanksgiving episode. And basically what that episode's going to be about, we're going to be talking about animes or basically like creators. Anyone who's made manga or anime that we just want to be thankful for creating the project that they did, because without them we wouldn't have a lot of these shows and manga to read. So that'd be the next episode. We're just gonna be giving thanks to certain creators, illustrators, anyone that we want to be like, you know what, you're amazing. I want to thank you for making this, because I'm totally into it. I love it. And yeah, so that's it, everyone. Thanks all for listening to the episode, and I will see you all next week. Everyone have a great, I'm making this on Friday, so everyone have a great Friday, and I'll see you all next week. Bye.